Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Ashland Tonight News. Today is Thursday, January 22nd, and it is TV2's first broadcast of the semester. Here's a look at today's top stories.
This past Tuesday marked a day that will be remembered in history. Find out details when we return about the inauguration of our 44th president and how AU got involved.
Students on campus are starting to notice the effects of budget cuts made by Ashland University last semester. Stay tuned to hear more.
A Shelby man is now being charged with the sexual harassment of 2 toddlers. Find out more when we return. I'm Laura Roberts.
And I'm Marina Santos. It's all coming up next only on Ashland Tonight News. Stay tuned.
Thank you for joining us. The United States of America witnessed the dream of freedom seeker Martin Luther King Jr. become a reality as the first African American was sworn in as President of the United States this past Tuesday. On January 20th, Barack Obama officially became the 44th president. The event took place at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and was held in the heart of Washington, D.C. People flocked in from across the country to watch Obama take the vows using the same Bible that Abraham Lincoln used decades ago. For those that couldn't make it to D.C. for the inauguration, ceremonies were watched by millions via television. Ashland University was among many Americans who partook in the event by watching history take place. Watch parties took place around campus in such places as the Schar Building of Education, in which faculty, staff, and students alike crowded into the lecture room to watch from the big screen.
Ashland University's Eagle's Nest surprised students with its new operating hours and budget cuts. Starting January 2009, the cafeteria will no longer be open on Fridays and Saturdays after 6 p.m., and it will only be open from 5 to 11 p.m. on Sundays. The Eagle's Nest also started charging students 50 cents for a bag of popcorn, which was free for students and staff in the past years. Amber Pilati, as junior at AU, believes that the university should have chosen different operating hours. She thinks that the majority of students go to the Eagle's Nest during the weekend, especially when they have visitors on campus. Courtney Martell, a sophomore student at the university, said that it's unfortunate that they had budget cuts in the Eagle's Nest. She said she's mostly sorry for the workers who now have to work less hours and earn less money. This was not the first budget cut at the university. In 2008, many staff members were fired. They also decreased the temperature of the buildings on campus to 70 degrees. Students and staff members are expecting more budget cuts to happen in the near future.
Sculptures by Robert Villamagna will be on display at Ashland University's Coburn Gallery. As a member of the West Liberty State College in West Virginia, Villamagna works with objects he finds to create wall-hung sculptures. His Idiosyncratic Pastimes exhibit will be open to the public from January 15th through the 20th of February. The Coburn Gallery is located outside the Hugh Young Theater at Ashland University Center for the Arts Building. Normal hours for the gallery are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the weekdays. The gallery is also available by appointment. The specific exhibit is free to the public.
The Ashland University Executive Committee approved the construction of the football stadium on December 15, 2008. The stadium will be located on Broad Street and it will have a concession and merchandise areas, a press box, and it will be able to seat 5,500 people. The construction of the stadium will begin immediately, and it is expected to be completed by the start of 2009 football season. Ashland University President Dr. Finks said that he is pleased that the Executive Committee approved the construction of the football stadium. The campaign for the athletic complex started in May 2007, and since then the university has raised nearly $21 million towards its construction. The complex will not only have a football stadium, but also a soccer and track stadium, a field house, locker rooms, weight room, athletic training area, and entertainment area. The board will determine during the spring of 2009 when they will be able to proceed with the track and soccer stadium as well as the field house.
6 professors from AU have been granted study leaves by the university for the 2009-2010 academic school year. Associate Professor of Education, Dr. Bonnie Adams, Associate Professor of Geology, Dr. Nigel Brush, Professor of Biology, Dr. Douglas Dawson, and Trustees Professor and Professor of English, Dr. Daniel Lehman, have all been granted the study leave for fall 2009. Faculty granted leave for the spring 2010 semester is Associate Professor of Music, Dr. Christina Furman, and Associate Professor of Economics, Dr. Robert Rogers. Both Brush and Dawson will be using the Kettering Science Center research labs to complete their studies. Brush will use the Rock Lab to complete cleaning, sorting, cataloging, qualification, and photographing of archaeological artifacts in preparation for writing a book and a series. Dawson will use the research lab to conduct research in criminal mixture toxicology. Lehman plans to continue his work in African literature and teaching, while Furman will be completing her book titled Strange Perversions, Sir Henry Bishop's Operatic Adaptations. And Rogers plans to complete 4 papers on topics that include characteristics of successful local firms, the influence of Friedrich List on American economic thought, modern differentiated product oligopoly model of steel market, and modern differentiated product of oligopoly model applied to competition among small private colleges. Up next, stories in our area recalling peanut butter crackers. Find out more when we return. It's all coming up next on Ashland 2 Night News.
From town to town, you can hear me moan, a mournful cry. I am so alone, and when the darkness falls, a heart so true, in chains of thoughtlessness, cut through and through, cut through and
What do a store owner, a mother of 2, and an honor student have in common? They've all recovered from a mental health problem, and they're all part of our lives. Mental health problems are surprisingly common. They affect almost every family in America, maybe even yours. Get the facts about mental health. Call 1-800-789-2647 because mental health is part of all our lives.
No matter what type of home renovation you're planning, put this at the top of your to-do list. Make sure your family is up to date on the tetanus vaccine, because after 10 years, none of you are protected against tetanus and another potentially fatal disease, diphtheria. A minor injury, such as a cut or a scrape, can put you at risk for a tetanus infection. And while safety gear offers some protection, an up-to-date vaccination called the TD booster is your best insurance against tetanus. If it's been more than 10 years since your last booster, then it's not just your house that's out of date, it's you. If it's been 10, do it again. Talk to your healthcare provider to find out if it's time for a TD booster, or visit nfid.org.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. With a recent outbreak of salmonella poisoning throughout the country, many stores have begun to recall many of their food items. Local stores are also beginning to take items off the shelves, and many of our area stores are removing peanut butter crackers. Last Saturday, Hawkins Food Mart pulled all the products off the shelves that National had to recall. Other stores who have been found to sell products linked to salmonella include Meijer, Kellogg Company, and Peanut Butter Corporation of America.
And the results are in. In a recent cost of living study, The city of Ashland was found to be the 10th least expensive urban place to live in the country. The study was conducted by the American Chambers of Commerce Research Association and was originally begun in 1968. According to the ACCRA index, the cost of living in Ashland is 13.5% below the national average. The cost of housing in Ashland also ranked 28.6% below the average.
A 37-year-old man from Shelby, Ohio could face life in prison if he is convicted of 6 counts of rape. Michael Shipley has been indicted on sex charges involving 2 female children, ages 2 and 3 years old. The 2 girls are not related to Shipley, and the charges were brought to the attention of police by the parents of the toddlers. Shipley is being held on $500,000 cash bond. If his bond is posted, he will not be allowed to have contact with minors and will be required to wear an electronic monitoring bracelet.
Today and tomorrow, troopers from the Ashland Post of Ohio State Highway Patrol will be targeting commercial drivers. Due to a recent rise in accidents and violations, aggressive drivers will be ticketed. Aggressive driving will include exceeded speeding, following a car in front of you too closely, unsafe lane changing, and failing to yield the right-of-way. Troopers will be focusing their efforts on Interstate 71 in Ashland and Wayne counties, and their watch will continue throughout the year. The city of Ashland has welcomed students back to a chilly campus. Stay tuned to see if we can expect a warm-up in the near future. Weather updates with Leland Gottlieb coming up next. Ashland Tonight News will be right back.
Our children want to know everything about the world around them. And yet sometimes what they discover makes them feel vulnerable and insecure. In times like these, they need the comfort of an adult, the honesty of parents, and playtime to help them deal with their feelings and fears. Time that will literally heal their hearts. The gift of imagination allows children to see a better world. Playtime allows them a chance to practice creating it. Don't underestimate the power of play.
I am the port in the storm.
I am the line in the sand.
Roger that, everything looks good. I am the rescuer in the dark. It's okay, I got you. I am the enforcer of the seas.
We are the defenders of the homeland. We are the shield of freedom. We are the United States Coast Guard.
Heed your country's call. Join the Coast Guard or Coast Guard Reserve, the shield of freedom.
To Ashland Tonight News. I am Leland, the weatherman Gottlieb, bringing you, yes, Ashland's weather. Well, I hope all of you folks had a wonderful winter break, but as we returned to Ashland, we got blasted with an Arctic invasion. We've seen temperatures well below 0, but today we are seeing temperatures rise well above 30. Let's see what is responsible for this right now on the current surface map. We can see that there is a high pressure system down from Florida. This was up north and was dominating our weather. With a high pressure system, you have clockwise flow in the upper atmosphere. Therefore, when we were ahead of this, we saw northerly winds pushing down Canadian air. However, now we are behind this, so we're seeing southerly air move into our area, giving us some nice temperatures for this time of year. However, as we take a look to the west, you can see that there is a low pressure system off of California, and this will move all the way across the country associated with a cold front and bring us some more Arctic air. Let's take a look at those temperatures and see just how warm it is, or cold, however you view it right now. We can see around the region of Ohio, temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s. Beautiful day out there and some sunshine. We can see in Cleveland 34, down in Columbus 37, really warm for what we saw last week at this time. We saw temperatures well below zero, and the wind chills were negative 30 to negative 40 degrees around our area. Lastly, let's take a look at those winds and see if we have any wind chills. We can see that winds are generally pretty light around our area. However, as I mentioned, with that low pressure system, we're seeing pretty powerful winds, and this will work into our area later this weekend, unfortunately, and bring us some more pretty powerful cold wind chills. Now let's take a look at that all-important 3-day forecast. There's one more day there for nice weather, 35 and cloudy, pretty warm, so get out, take a ride outside with those uncovered snow roads, and then we'll see temperatures drop again, and yes, it will be frigid again on Saturday with a low of 5. And then rebounding, there's a little bit of a mess up there. It says 55, but that will be down to 3 degrees on Sunday, so we won't see a rebound at all. That's all I have for weather. Here's Brendan with sports.
Thanks, Lee. I'm Brendan Bittner, and we'll get to all of our AU sports. The women's basketball team returns home tonight after a 6-game road swing. The Eagles host the number 7 team in the country, Hillsdale, at 5:30 tonight at Cates Gymnasium. It's Pack the House night, and the first 300 fans will receive an Ashland t-shirt. So as soon as our broadcast ends, head over to Cates Gymnasium and watch some quality basketball. Or if you can't get out, keep it right here on TV2, and we'll have all the action for you. The Eagles are coming off an 84-62 win over Ferris State Saturday. Betsy Morrison led the club with 16 points, and every Eagle scored at least 4 points. The Eagles are 10-5 and 6-4 in the conference. The men's basketball team suffered its worst loss of the season on Saturday, falling to Ferris State 100-74. Cale Richardson led the Eagles with 18 points, while 5 Bulldogs reached double figures as they shot 55% from the field. AU head coach Roger Lyons was ejected midway through the second half for arguing with the officials. The Eagles are 7-7 and 5-5 in the GLIAC. The Ashland wrestling team suffered a pair of losses at their own Wendy's Classic duels on Saturday. East Stroudsburg handled the Eagles 21-19, while Purdue beat Ashland 35-3. At 197 pounds, Josh Ohl was the only Eagle to win both his matches for the day. In the East Stroudsburg duel, Dan Mandera, Justin Ferguson, and Jussie Campbell picked up wins as well, including a pin for Campbell in the 285-pound class. The Eagles host the Simonson Construction Open on Saturday at 9 a.m. in the AU Fieldhouse. The men's swimming team earned 2 wins this weekend against 29-time defending Division III national champs Kenyon and against IUP. Sean McGraw, Eric Hackinson, Todd Polak, and Lee Drugan all won individual events against Kenyon. The 400 freestyle relay and 400 medley relay teams were also winners. Against IUP, Hackinson, Tyler Chisonis, Jesper Madsen, Brian Warhatch, and Arthur Gueva all earned wins. The 200 medley relay team was also victorious. The women's swimming team fell to Kenyon on Friday, but picked up a win against IUP. Freshman Maura Anderson was the only Eagle able to pick up a win against Kenyon, but several Eagles performed well against IUP, including Anderson. Lizzie Whammer and Allison Morgan also picked up individual wins, as did the 200 medley and 200 freestyle relay teams. The swimming teams host Edinburgh tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at the Rec Center, before heading to Clarion on Saturday. That wraps up the week in AU sports. Be sure to head to Cates Gymnasium tonight to see the Eagles take on the Chargers in a GLIAC matchup. Up next is Molly Miller with your health report. Stay tuned.
Every day, someone is being bullied. And every day, someone else is a bully. It can happen anywhere at any time, and it has become one of your child's greatest fears. There is no profile of a bully. Bullies come in all shapes and sizes, and so do the people they bully. Having a daily conversation with your child and staying in touch may be the key to bully prevention. Find out how you can help by calling for free information. Make time to listen, take time to talk about bullying.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
We have seen the faces of suffering in Sudan, in Darfur. Hundreds of thousands killed. More than 2 million people torn from their homes, exiles in their own country, forced into camps of hunger and isolation. But we have seen the strength of a mother's hands. We have seen the hope in a child's face. Catholic Relief Services is on the ground, in the camps, providing the basics of life: food, water, shelter. The need is urgent. The choice we face is simple. Watch as another chapter of tragedy is added to human history, or act now to stop the dying and keep alive the promise of a better future. Millions of Sudanese still wait for their stories to end with hope. That hope begins with you. Find out how you can help at helpcrs.org/Darfur.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Molly Miller, and I'm here with this week's TV2 Health Report. Life is a bowl of cherries. What if a bowl of cherries could actually improve our lives? Not only do cherries contain higher levels of disease-fighting antioxidants than any other fruit, recent studies by the University of Michigan's Cardiovascular Center prove that eating tart red cherries frozen, dried, or fresh may reduce weight gain, lower cholesterol, lower blood sugar, and reduce inflammation. After completing many successful tests on rats last spring, studies are underway to see if tart cherries will have the same effect on humans. The researchers are very hopeful. With the frigid temperatures that have been haunting us this past week, how can we stay healthy? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention has suggestions. They suggest layering loose-fitting clothes and wearing a coat that is waterproof. If it's not just important to put on healthy things on the outside of our bodies, but as well as what we put into our bodies. The CDC warns against consuming alcoholic beverages because they cause the body to lose more heat. Instead, they suggest drinking warm beverages such as hot tea, hot chocolate, or coffee, and eating well-balanced meals. That's all with health tonight. Time to go drink some hot chocolate and eat a bowl of cherries. And we will toss it to Molly Fradiani with the latest in Hollywood news. Molly?
Thanks, Molly. I'm Molly Fradiani, and let's take a look at this week's edition of TV2 Entertainment. Sasha and Malia Obama had front row tickets to Monday night's Kids' inaugural concert featuring young stars such as Miley Cyrus, Bow Wow, Demi Lovato, and the Jonas Brothers. The Obama daughters were joined by thousands of other kids, mostly from military families, at the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C. Malia and Sasha got to go up on stage and dance with the Jonas Brothers. During their performance, halfway into the show, Michelle Obama gave a speech inspiring the kids to play a part in the future of our country through volunteer work. She went on to say that even kids have something to contribute to our country. Every little kid lives for the moment that they turn a year older on their birthday. Well, everyone except for singer Akon. Akon claims he does not know his real age, nor does he care. He says the thought of getting older depresses him, and he doesn't want to worry about silly things like going to the doctors or getting life insurance. Although he was born in America, he grew up in Senegal and said he was never informed how old he was as a child. Several reports have placed his age between 25 and 35. Britney Spears has accomplished everything that she has ever dreamed of, so what could be left for a pop princess to do? Well, write an autobiography, of course. Britney Spears is currently working on a tell-all book deal that she will sell for a mere $14 million. Spears is said to have kept diaries along her road of fame and plans to leave nothing out of the book. $14 million is a lot to be asking for a book deal, so it may take some time before we see this book on our shelves. Now, let's take a look at our top box office hits. Coming in at number 5 is Hotel for Dogs. In number 4 is Notorious. In number 3 slot is My Bloody Valentine in 3D. In the second slot was Gran Torino. And coming in number 1 for this past week was Paul Blart Mall Cop. That's it for this week's entertainment report. I'm Molly Fradiani, and TV2 will be back after this break.
There, do you ask them questions about who they had lunch with or who they sat next to on the bus? Having a more specific conversation with your child may be the key to bully prevention. Bullying can affect a lot of people in a lot of different ways. Find out how you can help by calling for free information. Make time to listen. Take time to talk about bullying.
These are poor coal mining communities where there's no jobs and no health care. Last year we had 7,000 people, so we know it's needed. Instead of being stationary in one clinic, we bring this clinic to 8 communities. People appreciate so much that we're able to be there with them in a moment of crisis. And that is a gift which keeps me on the road and keeps me going.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
Welcome back to Ashland Tonight News.
Are you searching for an internship position for the summer? Next Tuesday, January 27th, AU will be hosting an internship panel with potential employers. The event is open to all majors and will be held at 7 p.m. in the Student Center Auditorium.
LA comedian Jen Colbert will be performing this weekend on campus. She will be making an appearance at Redwood this Saturday at 9 p.m. So if you're looking for some good laughs, be sure to check her out.
Well, guys, what a historic week we just had come to a close. But what are you guys doing this weekend?
I am going home and going skiing with my parents, so that should be fun.
Well, I'm not as cool as Marina, but I plan on catching up on some homework, fun stuff like that.
And how about you, Molly?
I am going home and going to watch some serious chick flicks with my mom.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Well, I'm going home as well, so I guess everyone's going home. But I have a lot to catch up on as well.
Well, does it for tonight's Ashland Tonight News.
We would just like to thank our TV2 crew. And if you're interested in helping out with Ashland's TV station, you can email us at tv2@ashland.edu.
And don't forget to join us next Thursday at 4:30 p.m. for our weekly newscast.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.